If you grew up in America, the Vietnam War is a chapter in a history textbook. For me, it's the quiet cemetery where I'm standing right now. Transition to a medium shot of an elderly Vietnamese woman standing in a humble rural graveyard. My father died fighting your soldiers. My daughter died from a bomb dropped from your sky. Today is her anniversary, and I have nothing to my name but her memory. Welcome back to the channel. Today, I want to talk to you directly, not as a history teacher. And not with anger. I'm sharing a story that rarely makes it into American documentaries. I was born into war. In the West, people often debate the politics of 1968, the draft, or the presidents who made the calls. But on this side of the ocean, war wasn't a debate, it was the air we breathed. Growing up, we didn't have stable jobs, safety nets, or promises of a future. When my father was killed in action against American forces, my family lost our provider. Poverty wasn't just a challenge, it was a daily fight to stay alive. But nothing prepared me for the day the sky broke. I was young when I had my daughter. In the middle of pure hardship. She was my entire world. When you have no money and no security, your family is literally all you possess. Pause. It happened in seconds. An airstrike. The sound of a jet engine in the late 1972s didn't sound like machinery. It sounded like thunder tearing through the earth. A bomb fell near our village. When the dust settled, my daughter was gone. She was just a child. She had no political ideology. She didn't know what communism was. Nor did she know what democracy was. She just knew the sound of her mother's voice. And in an instant, American munitions took that away. To put this into perspective for my American viewers, imagine growing up in a small town in Ohio or Texas. You lose your father before you really get to know him. You struggle every day just to afford a single meal of rice. And then, a war fought by people thousands of miles away comes directly to your backyard and takes your only child. For decades after the war ended, the world moved on. America rebuilt its economy. Vietnam rebuilt its cities. But for millions of poor mothers like me, the war never truly ended. We were left in poverty, carrying the invisible wounds of a conflict we never asked for.
What is?
People often ask me, do you hate Americans? Long pause. When I was young and covered in mud and ash, carrying my daughter's body, my heart was consumed by darkness. But sitting here today, sweeping her grave decades later, I realized something vital. The bombs that fell on my village were loaded by young American boys who were just as scared, just as manipulated, and just as lost as we were. Gold Star mothers in America cried over their sons the exact same way I cried over my daughter. Grief speaks the same language in every country. War doesn't destroy an enemy, it destroys ordinary families on both sides while the people who started it sit safely in offices.
Xong rồi đấy. Đừng gọi là nó mưa nó cũng sạch đi.
I am still a poor woman. I don't have money, a prestigious job, or a grand legacy. But I have my voice. And I have this quiet spot where my daughter rests. My goal in sharing this story today isn't to make you feel guilty for being American. It's to remind us all of the human cost that gets erased when we talk about history only in terms of strategy, politics, and borders. If this story resonated with you, please leave a comment below. I read them, and hearing your thoughts bridges the gap between our worlds. Share this video with someone who loves history, and subscribe if you want to hear more untold human stories from this side of the globe. Thank you for listening to A Mother's Heart today. Take care of your loved ones.